Okay, good morning to everyone. My name is Rosie Lucin Martinez, and I promise to you this morning, good morning. I'm here in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and my time is 6:02 a.m. here. And of course, in the Philippines, all my fellow Philippines watching right now and waiting this my FB Live. I was with my guest for today. And I know that Philippines time is 12 lunch time. Okay. Good morning to everyone, to those people and Filipino, my Filipino country, waiting my FB Live. This is it. And of course, I promise to you, if you're waiting this FB Live interview to this man, okay, and I introduce to you, I promise you that you have a learnings and about his life and he's sharing about his business. Okay. So, um, anything you want to share, you just leave a comment in the comment section. Just type hashtag live, or if you're watching replay, just write in the comment section replay. Okay, and anything that you want to ask, anything that you want to share in this live FB live today, you can comment in the comment section, and I can shout out to you wherever you place or country you are in watching this live video. Thank you for tuning in and welcome aboard everyone, in especially in Filipino community. Okay, and I introduce to you. This is my guest for today. He is I met him. I met him in when I was joining 30 days challenge Facebook group explosion. He is the one a member of this group, of course, and then he is also doing a 30 days challenge also in this group, on that group. And I meet him, and of course, this is it. We can do a live interview to him, and we can share about anything information that we can learn from him. Okay, so this is it. He's the one to introduce himself. So let's welcoming Mr. Darrell Hagan. Okay, come aboard now. Hello, hello, good morning.
Hello. Hello. Hey.
Hello.
Hello, Rose Jean. How are you? Um, well, we're dealing with Saudi Arabia and the Philippines, so I guess I could say Assalamu alaikum for Saudi Arabia, and then Kamosta Ka for the Philippines. Um, so we got morning going, and then we got evening going, and then it's I'm in the United States. So I'm right in the middle right now, so it is closing down the night. It's around 10 o'clock, and I usually go on West Coast time. But thank you so much for having me, Rose Jean. Thank you. It's great to be here. Um, and I guess I could share a little bit about myself. Um, I gave some information to Rose Jean. So if anyone needs a quick 90-second bio, then you can get it from her, and I can send that to you also. Um, so I'll kind of share a little bit about my background. Well, um, I own or I am involved with about 6 companies, and it all started with one. And that first company that I started was being involved in the movie, film, and television industry. So anything that you can go to the theater and see, I think the biggest thing, I referenced the biggest thing. I guess the Black Panther did really, really well around the world. And I'm not doing films at that level because that film cost $250 million to make. I would love to. I would love to take $250 million and make the films that I have, but most of the films in the United States, you can get by with about $20 million. So for the cost of the Black Panther, I could do 10 films. But I started in the film and television industry because I was in high school. Um, I was in high school, and my teachers noticed that I felt very comfortable being in front of a camera. They felt like I was very comfortable being in front of an audience. I actually I used to get in front of the class and make up things or share things, and the teachers would give me extra credit for memorization, and I end up getting a lot of great grades. But as soon as I graduated high school, I was offered a job in a film. So I started off in a film called Great Balls of Fire with a guy named Dennis Quaid. And then I started touring with a theater company. I had a 5-year contract. And so film, television, theater, being in front of an audience, being able to talk to crowds, that got me to my very first performance, which was my first international performance. I performed at the Sorbonne University in Paris, France. That was a big deal. Um, to tell you a little bit about the future, I grew up in a very, very poor community, uh, very, very harsh, like gangs and um, a very, very hard environment. My had a big family, um, raised by my stepfather and mother, and so 7 kids in the household. So we didn't have a lot of money. It was a harsh environment, and so to at 18 to be in Paris or to basically get to Paris, France, and be performing for people from all different countries in a play and doing that, it was just a big deal because I had never dreamed that I could do that at the time growing up as a kid. So when I moved to Los Angeles in the Hollywood film industry, I was in the industry and doing very well. I was doing television commercials like for phone companies like AT&T, Allstate Insurance, PBS. So I did a lot of commercials and things like that, TV shows, and some movies you may remember like Demolition Man with Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes. And so I was doing great, but a friend of mine took me aside and he said, "Hey, you need to learn how to create." And that's how I got into business ownership. I really started learning that a lot of the things that people were doing around me, they were consuming. So they were spending their hard-earned money. Um, and if you keep spending without creating, you get this you're unbalanced, um, because you really can't build wealth for yourself if you're not creating something that either people want or they need. And so, being an actor and getting married, my wife wanted a house. So, so I had to rethink my strategy of even though I was doing well for where I came from, um, like being able to handle kids and being able to have a wife and being able to travel and do a lot of those things, I had to kind of focus on how can I take the skills that I have and turn that into a profitable business. So that's why I now, 2019, I have one main company, which is a film company. So now I create films. So that not only employs me, but it employs other actors, it employs electricians, uh, graphic design artists, marketing people, writers. So it employs a lot of people. So that's the main business. And then as I was building that company, I had to start learning how to support that company because I didn't have a lot of resources. I basically put together about $500, and then I worked out a deal with an attorney for another $120, and then I worked out some investors for another 200 or so. So basically, for less than $1,000, I launched a business. And so, resources wise, I have never been one to let people go. I don't have the money or I don't have the resources. You can launch a business, and I've learned a lot about this. one of my companies is a business development company. So I coach people on how to get your business to do well, even with limited resources. The people that I came across, uh, I have a lot of great stories. So I've seen firsthand that it can be done. So, um, does that answer the first part of your question? Yes, I answered my own question. Um, so, so I'm here. I guess I could talk about. A lot of times I don't talk about all of the businesses I own. The main business is the movie business, the movie company. Um, One of the first things I did, I said I want to help other people launch a business, so I started a business development company. So that company is called KHBDC. It basically is business development consulting. And so people come and they, whatever their idea, I help them put together the idea and we help launch the business or grow the business. So those are the two major things. I have a film company and then I have a business development company. And most of the resources that a lot of people need when they have a business here in the United States is uh, one of the first things was money. And so I partnered with a company that actually helps people with business credit. So business credit is one resource. Also in the United States, there are programs that the government and investors and people have that they go like, they say, oh, we need more women-owned businesses. So a lot of business owners will set aside monies to give to women-owned businesses or women with ideas that they want to launch a women-owned business or a minority-owned business. There's also what's called nonprofit or not-for-profits that have excess resources, and they go, "Hey, I have 200 computers. We will donate that to you to your company, and you can sell them for your nonprofit to create revenue and things like that." So there's always a way to fund the business, get it going. But a lot of it, I have found a lot of business owners or entrepreneurs or people who come from kind of the walks of life that I did, a lot of them need more of a mindset shift to help them get to the point where they understand that you can do this. Um, I'll share a story. There's there was a guy he was talking about. He basically graduated um, from college, science degree with a lot of debt, and he worked 9 to 5. He was doing that thing, but he came up with an idea, and he needed about $10,000 to get that idea off the ground. But in doing that, he knew he couldn't work the day job and get the business to where he needed it to go. And he, talked to his wife and everything, and they pulled the 10,000 from their savings, which is a big jump because he quit his job and launched his business, and he had to make it successful. And I think that's one of the things that people miss out on is that you have to be so committed and focused that you are going to make this work. I was listening to Arnold Schwarzenegger, who most people know as the Terminator, and I got a chance to work with him and his family while I was in Beverly Hills, California. And him, Maria, Catherine, um, Patrick, great family. And I was just recently listening to Arnold speak, and he was talking about Plan B. He said a lot of people go, well, I'm going to do this, and then if this doesn't work out, I'm going to hold on to this. And he was sharing that Plan B detraction Plan A, all that energy that you need to get you through to being a successful entrepreneur, focus that on Plan A. There is no Plan B, and that's a hard pill to swallow. But when you do that and trust in yourself, grow yourself, your mindset has to shift to where you understand that you can do anything. The mind is an incredible thing. being an actor, there was a situation. There was an actor, a very, very famous actor. He was talking to a director about, he was doing a scene about he was going to have a heart attack in the scene. Well, and this was Sir Patrick, not Sir Patrick, but this was Sir, he did Silence of the Lambs, Sir Anthony Hopkins. So Sir Anthony Hopkins was talking to the director. He said, "Hey, I'm going to be, doing a heart attack." He said, "Is there going to be a doctor present?" And the director was like, "Oh, of course, there'll be a doctor present." Then he went and made sure there was a doctor going to be present. The director was sharing this story, but because the mind can convince you, like you can literally convince yourself to have an actual heart attack. So an actor understands the power of what you create and believability and how your mind and body will react to certain things. So even outside of the acting world, as a person, as an individual, you really got to understand that you can do amazing things. Um, Sometimes the world, beats us down and we think, oh, I can't do it, or I'm making this mistake. Um, there's this great saying, it's called fail your way to success. Fail your way to success. Um, every billionaire started out with zero. Every multimillionaire started out with no companies. So um, we talked about, I have a Facebook group called 8 Steps to Prosperity, but it's kind of like the journey of 1,000 steps begins with one. And that's like, I think it's like a Chinese proverb. Um, but you got to start, take that first step, and then force yourself to understand that you are powerful. You can will yourself to be on top of the world. You can do more than what you believe. If that makes sense. So um, so a lot of the things that when I get a chance to speak or go to different places, a lot of it is first off on mindset. Um, I work with a lot of people, read a lot of books, and it's not that I went out to go, hey, I'm going to get all these people excited and be a motivational speaker and get them excited about their mindset. I learned it because I had to motivate myself. And I'll share something with you. I don't share with a lot of people, but most of them know it, like it's in my first book. But by the time I got married and started a company that was an international company, my wife was like, at the time, was like, I didn't sign up for this. She's like, I just wanted you to go get a job somewhere. I didn't want you to start your own business. And for about 3 years, we went back and forth where if I did something toward the business, she did something opposite. Like we basically were, um, you know, it wasn't like antagonistic, but she was like, I do not support this. And so a lot of the things that I share now are based on the fact that I had to self encourage. I had to motivate myself. I had to read. I had to write down things. I had to listen to other people and motivate myself to understand um, that. And here's what I said. I said, no one is going to want me to win more than me. Nobody's going to want me to win more than me. So it's a luxury if you have people in your life that like, hey, I'm going to support you, I'm going to be behind you, but to be honest with you, most of the time you won't. And I think that's one of the biggest things that entrepreneurs get kind of lost in. They think, oh, my boss is a great guy, he's going to be encouraging that I'm leaving his company to start my own. I guarantee you he's not. And there have been many, many, many sessions I've had with people who are like, I thought my boss was going to be happy. And, he called the police. He thought I was stealing his clients, those kind of things. Because they're like, well, what kind of business are you starting leaving here? And so, especially dealing with money, it's like people get protective and they're like, well, are you taking money from my company or I'm paying you this much and you're making me this money, why do you want to leave? That kind of a thing. And so it doesn't matter how great you think your boss is or how great you think someone is or they're going to support you. Usually it turns out that, you know, In the beginning, they may go, "Oh yeah, yeah, great, great, great," but there are some that'll even go make a phone call like, "Hey, I don't think that person has a license," just to get you shut down, and you may never know about it, and or you may know about it and then go like, "Wow, I thought you were a friend." Um, I had a booking agent who stole my identity. This was in the middle of my divorce. So while I was going through a divorce, after about 5 years, going back and forth with my wife, telling me quit this stuff and stop doing it, and she pretty much gave me an ultimatum. She said, if you don't stop being in the movie and film industry, then you know I don't want to be here. And so she gave me an ultimatum to either quit the industry or quit the marriage. So as I was going through that, we went through counseling and everything. One of my booking agents stole my identity. Um, so here I have a company that's doing pretty well that I'm losing because now I'm going through a divorce. And the way to generate revenue with my personal identity, fortunately, I had the tools I needed to start my business correctly. So uh, one of my companies with the business development, I teach people like, look, you got to separate your personal life from your business life. In the United States, when you set up entities, those are entities that can exist without you. So they can build revenue without you. So you don't have to do personal guarantees to build the business. The business is its own entity. So whether that's an LLC, whether that's an LLP, whether that's a sole proprietorship, whether that's what's called an S corp or C corp, and I'll throw out a quick disclaimer: I'm not an attorney, or there's a bunch of disclaimers, um, but those tools I'm sharing because I know them. Um, those tools can set you apart and get your business to where it needs to go quicker. Um, when you try to put everything on your personal, which a lot of people do in the United States, what happens is you do have marital discourse or you do have problems because you have a business, it's its own entity, and it's almost like a child. So you're trying to get this business to support you, but then you're also trying to use your work income to support your family. So you're trying to use your income to support your business. And then if you're married or in a relationship, uh, they may be like, well, that's my money or that's my income. Why are we putting my money into your business and things like that? So when you separate the two immediately and from the beginning, your business can go ahead and start putting these steps together to support you on its own on a trajectory going up, hopefully, instead of pulling money out of your savings or pulling money out of your personal account. Or one of the biggest problems is what's called in the United States, and I think you may go through some of this internationally, is double taxation. So I think you had a question, Rose Jean?
Okay. I just
Uh-oh, I can't hear you.
wait.
There you I will hear you for a second and then not.
It is the mic, okay. And if you, I just written about your life because of course I'm a newbie, I'm a beginner in this kind of a business online. So that's why I have a lot of learnings came from you. That's why I'm listening. I take a note. Of course, that's so. I just shout out all those Filipino here. They come here now and watching me live now. So I just take relax now and I just greet them and say hi, hello. They said hello for you. Okay, I just read it and Ma'am Evelyn Sabaluka is here watching live. Thank you for watching. Hello, Rose Jean Lusong and Miss Master Darrell Kate Hagan. He said to that. And thank you for watching Cheryl Bilya Pinkin from the Philippines. Good morning. Good morning. She watching from Kuwait. We watching in Kuwait. And then Renz Maglinaw is watching from Riyadh here in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And then Ronsi Tumimbang is watching right now. And Renz Maglinaw said for you, hi Coach, good morning, watching here in Riyadh. And shout out to Mr. Hollywood actor Darrell Kent Hagan. How you doing, sir? Say hi, hello to you. He known you. Okay, maybe he known you. And then James Isarda, thank you for watching. And what's the Marivic Galarion Rolano is watching here from the Philippines. Hello, Coach Rosie, and good morning. Watching Malaysia. Oh my God, this is you have a different country here, and if my Filipino fellow Filipino, they're watching different kind of country. Just comment in my comment section. Tell where you are now, and I greet you. And hi, hello to Mr. Darrell. Say hi, hello. Okay. So you know that our Filipino is very hospitable. We are very friendly people. So they happy to see you now with me. And then Glenda Villora de la Cruz, thank you. Good morning, coach and Hollywood actor. Did say that, okay? So, okay, so my question is my next question to you because you all already tell about your life, how you started from in your family. You are came from the of course a small family. You know what the poor family or something like that. You have tell to me the story about where you came from and how you striving yourself, how to motivate yourself. You want to change your life, of course, and after that you getting married and then of course the same and online entrepreneur we are encountered that our partner doesn't like what our principle what our belief and of course same like me same like me okay same like me my do you hear me same like me my ex-husband we already separated now and of course when I was doing this kind of life and business he doesn't understand he never supported me from the start so same like what you did I'm related to you your story so we need to separate because if me and you same like that we are have vision and mission or we see ourselves here in online business online entrepreneur so we need to pursue what we wanted to be in our life, right? So of course, it sometimes we need to sacrifice. Of course, this is it. We need to sacrifice something, the relationship, even our partner in life, if they doesn't understand our what we doing in our business. So of course, we are not compatible. So we need to separate. And of course, pursuing, continue what our belief especially this kind of a business, most of the time, um, a lot of Filipino out there doesn't understand what is online business all about. Okay, they said that you get your success when you are in working. If you have a job, you get your success. The people thinking that only in the job and business is they not they not uh, looking at that the business is like an entrepreneur is a one best way to get out of the life that you can change your life in this online business most of the time I've observed rich people poor people people success in this online business if you have your heart in this business you have your own passion you created yourself as what is you believe in this online business those people will get their success and become a millionaires in this kind of online business same like you because actually I'm newbies okay I'm newbies so I have a lot of learnings came from you okay I'm only 1 year in my business so of course I'm starting Darrell and I created my name especially in the social media because social media is one of the tools that we need to create a leads and we have to get our sales because we came here in the business of course for to people known well as about what our belief and then of course about the business of course you want to earn money right so that's why so This online business, guys, is not easy. Okay, I tell you the truth. This online business is not easy. If you see yourself here in online business, you pursue whatever it is. You need to create yourself, of course, you create yourself what is your belief, what you can contribute to this online business industry. Okay, same like Darrell. He's before he's an actor. No, people know if you are actor, if you are Hollywood, you earn big money. So they thinking why you're switching and become an online entrepreneur or online consultant. It's you're already actor, you're already a Hollywood actor. So why are you switching for this kind of a business? So most of the people doesn't understand. So that's why we are here, social media, to educate people. That's why most of the time, online marketing, online entrepreneur, teaching, educate, right? Teaching, educate the people, that tell to them what is online business, help you in your life, especially in your financial, of course, in your financial in your life. If you're pursuing this kind of a business, okay. So, Darrell, my next question is in your first business, how much your starting salary in your first business? How much the first earning big money, or how much your salary? I mean, how your first business, how much you earn? That how much you earn, because it's dollars here in my country, peso. It's different the currency. So how much you earn your first business?
All right. So here's what people have to understand. Um, the numbers don't matter. If like you had what's called the 20-30-50, the 20-30-50 rule, right? Well, when I started, uh, and I was 18. I was 18. So $1,000 a week was a lot of money for an 18-year-old kid, right? But think about the fact that in the United States, when you hit a certain amount, almost 40% goes to the government immediately. So for every dollar you get, 40 cents is being taken away. So a lot of people who come out of college with a degree were probably making about the same that I was right out of high school. And I think it was about 50,000 a year, like at 18, as a professional actor. It kind of fluctuated between 50 and 60,000 for an 18-year-old kid. But no debt, no wife, no. It's like, huh, I was like, oh, this is great. I didn't understand though that when they would take out that, you know, uh, $400 per thousand, that I'm basically just giving away half of, so I'm earning, but I'm giving away half of what I'm earning almost. And it wasn't until, because I had no understanding of how money worked. So if you flash forward that to when I finally got to Hollywood, and let's say did my first national commercial, the same thing applies, but by that time I had learned that my acting had to be put under the business. So um, the gas that I spent to go to the set, the clothes that I bought in order to play a specific character. So instead of giving away 40% of everything I earned, I kept 100%. As a business owner, you keep 100%. And at the end of the year, based on your accounting, the government decides what they're going to tax you. That's why Jeff Bezos, I don't know the exact number, but I know that Amazon is in the hundreds of billions of dollars, but they pay no taxes. So wealthy people aren't paying taxes, whereas people who are struggling with a construction job or making just let's say $40,000 a year, they're in the highest tax bracket. So I had to understand, like, why is the people doing the most work getting taxed the most? They didn't own a business. So even owning an online business puts you in a position to where not only can you invest into something that's going to earn a return for you, you also have the ability to write off the expenses and deductions because you're using money to make money. And the government wants you to make money so that you can hire more people, so that you can buy houses and your employees can buy houses. So the deductions and all those things are there for a reason. So utilizing utilizing a business uh, will put you in a different place completely. And but you have to understand those tools and then really learn how to even make them better. And that's the part that I like to get to, and that people are at. It's like, um, you know, I one of my companies is a business that the service is taxes, and I shared this with my wife when we were married, because when I explained this to her, it seems like black and white. Like it doesn't make it's like, I talked what I just said, I told that to her. But then I said, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do all the taxes and everything based on the business and what we have. I said we're getting taxed $8,000 more a year than we're supposed to be. So we're probably gonna get about $6,000 to $8,000 back. And she was like, really? And so when tax season came around and the IRS sent us that rebate check for like $8,000, she was like, we were basically giving that to the government every year. And when you're getting it back during tax time, you're basically giving the government a interest free loan. Whereas if you had to took $8,000 and gave it to someone and got it back with interest, that's what a bank does. So why are we giving the government an interest-free loan by having them take out our money first? Okay. So now when you combine that with an online business or any business, think about this. All right. So this is this pen, right? So let's say everybody writes with this pen. It's a normal pen. You can get a pen anywhere. But what if you came up with a design, or you said, hey, I have a way for this pen to run better. Uh, it won't save people a lot of money, but maybe it'll save 2 cents per pen. So now you take this pen and you start shipping them out a hundred a box. That's basically what Walmart, places like Sears, Amazon, that's what they figured out. 2 cents, 2 cents, 2 cents, 2 cents, with 7.5 billion people in the world who go, oh, I need a pen. Think about the amount of money that even designing something or putting something that saves 2 cents does, right? And that's just 2 cents. Um, so a lot of times with businesses, even in an online or commerce business, if you can figure out something that people either want or they need, or they say necessity is the mother of invention, the person who created a can opener, boom, multimillionaire. The person who decided that the this one is a funny one, the pet rock. Did you know the pet rock made someone a millionaire? Basically, just putting a rock on your desk to keep papers from flying away. Someone named it Pet Rock, put it in a package, and became a multimillionaire by picking a rock up and saying it's worth something. Okay, so um, so a lot of it is not completely about the amount; it's what you do and how you look outside the box. Okay. Um, but here's a fact: you will never get rich working for someone else, because you're always gonna make them more money than you're ever going to be able to make for yourself. Um, so in the United States, what I've learned and what I've discovered in working with people, the the one of the biggest ways to wealth is real estate. Right. So I had a real estate license. So even though I was doing movies, um, I wasn't Samuel Jackson. I wasn't Brad Pitt. I wasn't Tom Cruise. So if I booked a movie, I was happy. If I booked three, I was doing really well. But over the course of a year only doing three projects, you have to have something else going on. And so I started learning that, hey, I got to do what I love. And what I loved was talking to people and helping people. And that's really what I wanted to do anyway. The acting kind of came about because I had a certain skill, but I personally wanted to go, look, I came out of poverty and I took the skill that I had and I made a business. I started doing the things that I love, and you can do that. That was my message. And that's what I do today. So the online portion of it came because um, with online and e-commerce, here's what you have to understand. And this is 40 minutes, 36 minutes in. Mark this down. The internet and online business is booming, and it is just getting started. The person who told me, I talked to him, he was a multimillionaire, got to sit down and have some food with him. And he said, I don't know anything about the movie business. I don't know anything that'll help your business. All I got to tell you is you got to get your business online. He said, my company is making money 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Every 6 seconds, someone is paying me and money is going into my bank account. I'm sitting here talking to you. People are drinking. There's a party going on. They've been partying for 4 hours. I've been making money without doing anything, just sitting here talking to you. He said, learn how to get your business online. So the movie company is an online business. I basically create the movies, and then my competitor is Netflix. So I can create a movie, I can put myself in it or not, and then we put that movie online and you can pay to see it. We can partner with Lionsgate or partner with Warner Brothers, and they can get the big movie out to the theaters, and then you can go buy that, and then you can also buy it on DVD. But ultimately, you can go to my website and get it at a discount directly from me. So I started creating a movie and movie ideas and going, I can create them myself. And I also can partner, but all of it is the internet has opened up a worldwide marketplace. And the guy who told me that, his name was Calvin Ayers. And Calvin Ayers was the fastest person I knew who personally went from a couple $1 million to $1 billion within 5 years. He was the fastest person I've ever seen do it. I met another billionaire who doubled his billion, but not that quickly. So, so I started studying and figuring out how does online business work. And that's where I started investing in partnering and also helping other people create an online business. Website marketing, affiliate marketing, design, graphic design, Facebook ads for business. This is a huge market, and it is just the beginning. There's a third of the world that doesn't even have access to computers the way some first world countries do. So that market, so there's always going to be this push for, hey, I need help, I need help, I need help. And the people who are getting into it now and learning how this stuff works are on the forefront, and it's going to continue. We're not going backwards. Computer technology, 3D, cybersecurity, web marketing, getting products at a discount and getting them shipped right to your door. It is a booming business. And so I may not be that smart, but I'm smart enough to go, hey, let me figure out if I can surround myself with a couple of people and we can figure out how to do this together. That's what Think and Grow Rich is about. I don't have to do it all myself. The power of the team. There's no I in team, but there are 2 E's. So get excited. So surround yourself with some great people, and don't try to do it by yourself. Encourage yourself and push yourself, but understand you can do it together. Start surrounding yourself. There was something that I shared earlier. I was making a video because someone said, okay, if you had 90 seconds to tell someone about success, what would you tell them? I said, success is what you see, what you think, what you believe, who you associate with, and how focused are you on achieving the desired result. If that's all you took away from any conference or whatever that I'm at in 90 seconds, that'll take you far. What you see, what you think, what you believe, who you associate with, and how focused are you on achieving the desired result. Understand that the person who invented the television, there were two of them, but the one in the United States was a 15-year-old kid. The television didn't exist, even the word didn't exist. A 15-year-old kid walked outside and looked at the cornfields and figured out that the way rows and things were lined up, that electromagnetic waves can do the same thing, and they can be turned into a picture if you put something behind it. He was in junior high school. He, if he hadn't talked to his junior high school science teacher, people never would have known that he invented it, because someone tried to steal his idea later on when he actually tried to invent it, because he was just a kid when he came up with the idea for the television. Think about that. So when you talk about vision, and sometimes you're going to see something that other people cannot see. And that's nothing to say against, let's say, my wife or your partner or someone who's involved with you. Sometimes you're at a place that goes, no, this has to happen. The same thing happened with Edison. He needed money to invent the light bulb, and J.P. Morgan um, was had his father's money. He had some of his own money, but he didn't have enough. And his father was like, quit messing around with this light bulb thing. And his father was one of the richest men in the world. And his father was like, no, get to something else. Get to banking. That's what I know. Get to banking. And he had to hold his ground and do a couple of things. And he put a whole bunch of money together to get the light bulb. And just think about that. So, sometimes you're going to see it. You got to have the vision that sometimes other people will not see. And people are going to call you crazy. People are going to make comments on Facebook like, you still doing that e-commerce thing? How you make money with that? How's that money thing going? Can you pay rent this month? So you're going to have people making comments. You're going to have haters. You're going to have people going like, oh, I don't know what that's about, and try to dismiss you. But what you see, your vision is what's going to move you forward. So what you see, what you think, what you believe, who you associate with, surround yourself with people who are just as motivated, who are positive. Like I tend to run away from negative people. I don't try to argue with people who are going to, like, you know, throw gasoline on a fire just to watch things burn. You know, I surround myself with people who are going to contribute, even if it's constructive criticism, but people who are positive, people who are like, well, I don't know what's going on, but let me encourage you with this. So who you associate with, and then at the end of the day, being obsessed with the fact that I got to make this work. Like I said, there is no plan B. We're going to make this work. Some people went to war, and there were generals who were like, burn all the boats. The only way we're going to win this is moving forward, because there's nothing behind us but water. So you're either going to drown or you're going to go forward. So, um, so that 90-second thing works with me a lot. But like I said, all of these things, I kind of built them up, and I'm not talking to you guys. I built all this stuff up for me. So when I talk about the things like the book is a collection of speeches. And the thing is, it's 8 steps of prosperity. And so it's just defining what success is for you, not what other people decide. You know, people go like, "Oh, are you a millionaire yet?" It's like, I'm well on track to meeting the numbers that I need. That's all I have to say. And um, you got to be focused on achieving that desired result. If that is 1 million, then great. If that success to you is great. Um, there's a great comedian. His name's Dave Chappelle, and he shared a story when he was talking to his dad, because he was like, "Hey, I'm the first, I'm the first black man in my family that wasn't necessarily a slave, and talk about not going to college." And so his father, his family was worried, and he said, "Hey, if I can do what I love, and I'm making $50,000 a year as a stand-up comic, and that's success to me. And when you have that love and that focus to do well at something you love, that's where, and it sounds cliche and like they say, oh, the money will come. It may come a year later. It may come 2 years later. It may come 5 years later. It could come 20 years later. But the thing is, if you give up, then you're giving up on you. Don't give up on you. No one's going to have as much faith in me than me. No one's going to outlove me. Me. You know what I mean? So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'm a country music artist.
Okay. So I have I'm listening all the learnings and motivation and inspiration came from Darrell, and of course I'm inspired everything, and I have a lot of learnings from you right now. And of course, I have many Filipino followers, Filipino here. They watching me. All the coaches and mentors here came. I just say hi, hello to them. Ronilo Bughao is watching. Go, go, go. And James Isarda. Hi, Marge Paciente. Hello, guys. Hi, Darrell. Say Mario Marge Paciente. And then he said, there's one comment here. She said to you, just say hi, Darrell, and how. Wow, very inspiring kind of experience you have, Darrell. So this is my big break. Okay, this is my big break in the social media, really. And thank you for watching Irish Bilanca Quinto. There are the coaches and in my Filipino community, and there's they say that you are amazing, you are awesome person, and of course they a lot of learnings came from you, I know, and they listening to you right now. And yes, they watching. Hi, we are Philippines. They said they cheer up and they say Philippines, Philippines, yes, yes, yes. So that's it. So you know that of course yes, it's true that if you same like me when I was open mind about this online business. I was starting last year. I'm 1 year now in my online business. I was of course I'm a worker. I'm a job. I have a job here, and actually I am 4 years working here in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and of course I have no any changing in my life. Of course I have a dreams. I have a dream to my kids. Of course I ask to myself that how can I feed them, how can I provide them everything for their needs, because of course I'm a single. I am a only one to provide them in the Philippines, so my mom taking care of my kids. And of course I just comes up my mind that how I do to get another source of income. That's why I when I see this advertisement in the Facebook, I see this online business. The first company that I joined, I said to you before that it's digital product. So that's why that's my striving myself that I try to do this online business. And of course, being as employee as who I am now, I'm employee. Of course, business is if you even if I'm employee, I mean even I'm employee right now, it's not doesn't mean that I cannot do another source of income, especially in this online business. So that's why I'm do my business now online. Even I'm working here. I'm working here, Daryl, 13 hours every day, no day off. Every day I have 3 hours only to sleep, and I just need to sacrifice because I need to. Of course, I need to earn money, and then I created myself to the social media, and 13 hours that I was give to my working here as a nanny. I'm nanny here. I'm cooking. I take care of the kids. It's hard for me to do this job. All the of course my kids, my mom all taking care of my kids while I'm taking care of other kids. It's not easy. It's not easy being as Filipino overseas contract worker here in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, right? So that's why I motivate myself. What can I do to change my life? To change my life, to get my goals. I have a dream. I have a dream, Darrell. Same like what you're starting before, and I just motivate myself that all the people they doesn't believe what I believe. Okay, I just Leave me alone. I know myself, that I have a passion. I know I have a talent or skills that I can share to this online business, because I fallen in love this business, because not of course to earn money, because I love, this is my passion. That's why it's importantly, you know yourself, you see yourself here in online, right, Darrell? If you don't see yourself in this online business, and you cannot believe in yourself that you can do it, this kind of a online business, and face to the camera, to the people around the world. So you cannot commit your success. You always listening to those people, negatron, negative people, just together with the positive people. There are a lot of the people that same like you. Find that people. Find the people who same like you, who same a positive mindset, same like what you believe. Join them. Same like Darrell, same like Admin Corey. I see this Facebook group explosion. The reason why I joined Darrell in this Facebook group explosion is because of myself. I want to grow. I want to grow. I'm not only to stay in that local community. Say what I have learnings that, of course, I know international is a lot of learnings that I can get to grow me as an online marketer, Darrell. That's why I'm here, and then that's why I don't expect it that I encounter you. I do this kind of a big break for me. Interview this kind of Darrell for now, so the people in Filipino community be proud to me. Wow, you can do it. You can do it, and international. So that's what I got. If you believe in yourself, that's the said Darrell said. If you believe in yourself, like what I did it. Believe in yourself. Yes, yes, Daya. Believe in yourself. And of course, Darrell, tell me about the group. I just joining your group right now. Okay, so tell me about what is your group, what is your business all about, and that's it. And a little information about your group. Okay, tell it to the people, tell to the viewers all out there. Say hi, great to the all Filipinos. They cheering me up. They say go.
Well, the thing that I got a long time ago was the fact that um, the thing that makes movies unique is that it's all about the human experience. And very early when I started performing, I understood that I'm not just someone in the United States. When you watch two people fall in love in a film, you can watch that in Russia, you can watch that in the Philippines, you can watch that in South Africa, you can watch that in Germany, you can watch that in Sweden. It's a human connection. And um, the the reason that I started writing books and things like that is because I said, hey, I want to connect with other people. And the the things that I went through were very tough. And I did stand up comedy for a long time. And I would make fun of all the things that I went through, a lot of them. But they were very hard at the time. But I learned to turn those into entertainment, and I could instantly connect with people. Um, when I got on stage with 600 people or 1,000 or 10,000, because I could pull out the humor in a lot of tragic situations. But it's all about connecting. We connect with each other and we care for each other as humans. So that circumvents any color lines, any cultural lines. We connect as humans. And so the Facebook group was put together because I wanted to do more talking about my book and share more, not only the movie stories but also my experiences. And one of the I wrote a book that's been out for a while. My very first book was about going through the battle with my wife and deciding to follow my heart and not the marriage. And so my very first book is about a year in my life going through that with my wife as an entertainer, as someone who was somewhat successful but had but things weren't working out relationship wise. And I said, I think other people go through this who are like musicians and who are painters and who are artists. So I wrote the book to share and like say, hey, maybe we can connect on this. Maybe something that I did can help you. And so that's how I started writing books of let me share this experience. So I came up with, as people would ask me, hey, come and speak at this event, I said, well, these are the 8 things that I would share. And so I wrote basically 8 speeches, and that's what the book is. And it's called 8 Steps to Prosperity. So it's me sharing my life. And um, I put together the Facebook group because I wanted to coach more people on figuring out what success is to them, but also having the tools to have massive success. Because it was a very interesting thing that um, when I was in Beverly Hills, I was spending time with um, people like Arnold Schwarzenegger, a guy named Joe Rogan, who has been on TV, who's on the internet, has a podcast. He does UFC. I met people like Calvin Ayers, the billionaire in the online business. I met I met Donald Trump. I actually worked with him on a television project, and so there are like a lot of super successful people. I started wondering. I was like, it's we can have massive success. It doesn't have to be um, when you say prosperity, it doesn't have to be like, oh, I make $100,000 a year, I'm good. You can make $100,000 a month. Um, one of the guys that I, one of the guys that I met, how did he? Um, there was a guy. He came to the United States and he didn't have anything. He barely spoke English, and he came to the United States, came to California, um, and he drove a taxi and he worked at a gas station, convenience station. So he would drive a taxi at night and work in a convenience station during the day. And he would take part of the money from driving the taxi and just save it up so that he could buy his own gas station. So eventually he would bought his own gas station. He was working at his own gas station and still driving the taxi at night. And then eventually he bought 2 gas stations. And so then he could stop driving the taxi and he had 2 gas stations. And then he bought a third, and then a fourth, and then a fifth. And eventually he was like super wealthy. Um, so he used these principles and sacrifice and a lot of these things that I share. I said, what if I put all this stuff together and I give people a head start? I give them a jump start. So I took a book, worksheets, the business, my contacts with business credit, my people that I was like, I was like, I'll take all the stuff that people need, and we can help them jumpstart their business. So, so the Facebook group I'm gonna have, Corey said I should change the name because this is what I had is 1,000, 10,000, 1,000,000, 8 steps to prosperity. But it's about the fact that make your first dollar, or in Corey's case, get your first person in your group. You get one, you can get 1,000. You get 1,000, you can get 2,000. You know, and it's the same principle with money. It's like if you can earn your first dollar with your business, that's all you worry about. I got my first dollar. If I made one, I can make 1,000. If I made 1,000, I can make 10,000. I can make 1,000,000. I can, as long as you put the tools together to do it. You can use a lot of the stories and the things that I've learned from other people and do it, right? Not everybody's going to be successful, but at least you have a head start of using these principles. And I wrote them down, so like they're in the books and the stuff that I have. And that's the Facebook group is for mindset of getting people to understand that it's possible, you know. But I do have a coaching group that not only helps you know it's possible, but also has a mastermind meeting, also has coaching sessions, also has worksheets. Also, it's like, let us help you and let's build a community that helps each other be entrepreneurs and business owners, and let's support each other. So that's what uh, the paid group is versus the free group. But the free group is there is kind of like, because if people have never seen it, I don't want to just, you know, they may say, I can't come up with $10,000, when in actuality you can. If you tell yourself you can't, you can't. If you, whether you can, whether you tell yourself you can or you can't, you're right. So, but a lot of people have never seen it. So the Facebook group is just kind of getting them to understand that there's a book called Think and Grow Rich. People read it all over the world, but a lot of them miss out on what it really actually is about. I read that book 6 times. I usually read it, now I read it like once a year. But when I first read it, I read it and I was like, oh, I get it. And I did better and I did well. But then 2 years later, someone said, you should read it again. And I realized that, oh, there were certain things I hadn't seen. And at that point, I would, every couple of years or so, I would go back and read it. Um, but there's some things in that book that until you've read it like the fourth or fifth time, you go, oh my goodness, I hadn't even thought about that. And one of the biggest parts of that people get misunderstood is the mastermind principle. And you can do a lot of stuff online, but you have to get outside of just being online. There are certain things that you need that you're only going to get from other people who are in your position or at a certain level. So when people talk about mastermind group, there's two mastermind groups. There's a people at your level, and then there's the people that you want to be at that level. You need to take those people and meet with them. How do I meet with them? So people would ask me like, how did you meet the what is now the president of the United States? Or they're like, how did you spend time with Arnold Schwarzenegger? Or how did you spend time with all these producers who were making 5 times the money you were making and you could barely afford coffee, right? Um, you have to think outside the box and inspire those people to go, hey, I want to work with that guy. And so a lot of those things, you do need a mentor and a coach and people in your group that's going to go like, when you say, oh, it's $1,000 I can't afford, and they go like, yeah, you can. And that's it. They don't have to say anything else. You can. You can. You know. Um, One of my very, 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 very first mentors, he walked into New Line movie studio, and he said, hey, I need $100 million to make a movie. And they were like, by the time he left, they were like, why take $100 million to make a movie? We'll give you 300 million. That's a true story. And so, he walked in like, I need $100 million. And New Line was like, when they saw his vision, they were like, why do that with $100 million? We'll give you 300 million. Bring us back 3 movies. That's what they did. They said, bring us back 3 movies. And so that movie was Lord of the Rings. And that producer was Barry M. Osborne. So Lord of the Rings, the first one made over $1 billion within the first four or 5 months. So that $300 million investment that the studio did, they got a return on that with the first movie. They were already profitable with the first movie, and let alone. But if someone had told him like, oh, you'll never get $20 million, he wouldn't have asked for 100 million. You know. And some people get caught up with the numbers. It is not about the numbers. It's like, what is my result? What do I want to accomplish? Universe, or whatever you ascribe to, bring me what I need to get this done. This is what I want to contribute to people. This is what I want to contribute to my community. He wanted to share that story. I had read Lord of the Rings. I loved reading as a kid. He wanted to take those images and everything from that book and share them with the world. He wasn't like, I want to be a billionaire because I'm going to make this movie. He was like, I want to share this vision with the world. And so when you think of it like that, then the universe will open up things to you. I mean, think about the fact that the woman who wrote Harry Potter, she was on welfare, riding a train, and she would write on the way to she wrote on the way to work. And sometimes we overthink it, like, oh, I got to do this and I got to do this in order to make all this. But this is just a little book sitting on the table. It's like someone decided to write this. They said 100 reasons why I love dad. Think about that. Just 100 positive things about like why I love my father. And someone took 30 cents worth of sheets of paper and just started writing things and then turned it into a book. And now that book goes wherever you can find it all over the world, you know. And sometimes it's as simple as that. The the first movie that I wrote, I went and got $5. I went to a paper station like Staples, and I bought a ream, 500 sheets of blank paper, and I typed out, not like a typewriter, but on the computer, I wrote out 120 pages of a story. The very first story was about my life. That is the movie script that someone took and said, "Hey, I want to take that and make a movie out of that." That's what that's what this is like right now. Like a friend of mine who did a TV show with me, he said, "Hey, I want to do that script about the guy that used to be in the gangs and then got out of it." So that $5 in that time of let me put this story on paper, what's the return on that realistically? So that movie is going to a friend of mine. He's working on it right now. His name is Isaac Keys. So the television show that I did for a woman named Kathy Hughes, and Kathy Hughes is even another story. Kathy Hughes started a radio station. She was a single mom, and she had her salary, and she launched a radio station for her and her son because she knew she could. That's what she wanted to do, and she lived in that radio station for a long time. But she ended up turning that into one of the most successful radio stations, television companies in the United States and world. And she was the one who put money up to like, I want to do a TV show. And she's the one, along with Donald Trump and TV One and the investors, of like, hey, we want to do a television show. And she, with the casting, picked us to represent um, success or this television show that did really well. And so so people like Kathy exist. you know she believed in her own vision. So all these stories, the Facebook group 8 Steps of Prosperity, is eventually it's like the people in that group, I want to make sure they get the book first. The book isn't even out yet, so they get that book at a discount and they get that, but they also get the mindset of, if you have a business, let's do this. If you have an idea, it doesn't have to be a business. It can be an idea. It could be a book. It could be a movie. It can be whatever you think you're passionate about and you want to create. Uh, Let me share and see if we can build a team to help you do it. And that's pretty much what the Facebook group is about. So building that kind of community and, you know, and encouraging people to do that.
Okay. So that's it. Thank you. Thank you. So I have a learnings. I have mind blowing. Oh my God. And only I want to do is sitting here and listening to you all day. And of course, I'm the burning inspire in my heart now that I motivate myself now. And I know, Rose, you can do it. Only I want to say, I can shout out to the world, I can do it. I know what is my vision. I know what I wanted to be. Same like that. So that's why I feel I'm so excited. I feel inspired now. Thank you, Darrell. And of course, everything, every sharing, anything that you say to do to this morning, all my Filipino fellow watching you, and they always comment, wow, you great story. They said the feedback they said to you, oh, you are awesome. Oh, you are wow. What is your life story? Is your blueprint? They said to you. They all people here. telling to you. And of course, people, that's it. We need to inspire and motivate people and do an action to tell them, um, get out of your comfort zone. And from starting now, you watching right now in this video, share this video to your team, to your group. If you see this video is valuable video that makes people will they have a learning a lot and mind blowing to them, share it now. Share it now. And to those watching right now, thank you very much. And of course, I just tell to you that Darrell is known how a little bit Tagalog. So let's hear from him how to pronounce this word. So just follow to me, Darrell, how you pronounce this simple Tagalog. Okay, people will love it. People love it when say. Okay, I just open your mic and say, "Kamusta ka?" Just tell me, "Kamusta ka?"
Kamusta ka?
Tell, yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
mabuti.
yes. Tell,
Or if you have any, send me some chicken adobo. No
yes,
delaguan.
adobo. You know adobo.
Adobo.
What is your favorite
No
Filipino
delaguan.
food? Lumpia. You said to me lumpia. You love it because Darrell is
No
I love
delaguan,
Filipino
chicken
food. There
adobo.
have a lot of Filipino friends. Yeah, right, Darrell.
Ah,
So
Filipino friends. Yes,
yes.
yes.
Do you like
Lots, yeah.
Philippine? Do you like
Yes, I
Filipino?
do.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So he know how to speak. When I message to me and he give me a voice record, he the first I hear from him is "Kamusta ka?" And I was wow. And so I'm so amazing that Darrell is know how to speak Tagalog. And
Mm.
our when same like me Filipino and all the Filipino watching right now, they happy to you that they hear you a lot of learnings, our motivation. And of course those people watching right now, um uh, Darrell said to us, or me and you, and anyone which watching right now, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Do your passion. If you see yourself in this online media, social media, online entrepreneur, online marketing, you see in yourself, do it and commit your dream, your goals, and keep going. Keep going, and one day you can get your success. Remember this: failure is the way of success, said Darrell. So that's it from now. So thank you, Darrell. Thank you very much. Thank you. This is the first time Darrell interview as an international. Of course, this is my first time to interview internationally. And of course, we are so happy, we both of us, that we're sharing this morning to everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So say bye to them and thank you to all Filipino, and they never forget you, Darrell. And I hope another time and any in the Facebook explosion we see again. And thank you for giving me a big break, Darrell. It's my
Thank you, Rosie.
favorite. Thank you, and thank you to all Filipino watching right now. Say bye, bye. Salamat po, salamat.
I don't know how to exit, but
You put down, you see the clear, down.
uh,
Leave this studio. Okay.
uh,
Bye.